Bishop Peter, nice to see you.
Thank you.
I've got a few questions here that I'm interested in your answers to, and I'm sure some of our listeners will be too. First question, why are you still a Christian and why are you still a bishop?
I'm still a Christian because I continue to believe what I believed for many years. And that belief is about Jesus being the Son of God, his dying and rising again for me and for all people. And I'm still a Christian because I believe I should be serving Jesus, working for him. And I guess that's why I'm a bishop, because that working for Jesus, serving Jesus, has led to roles in the life of the church. And at the moment, I'm a bishop. I have been for 3.5 years. I guess after only 3.5 years, not too hard to keep going.
So you felt called to be a bishop?
I have done for quite a few years before I actually became a bishop. But in our church's processes, there are elections and things. So it took a while for all the stars to line up, I might say.
So other people are looking for guidance in their lives. You heard from God about becoming a bishop. What would you say to someone who is wanting direction in life?
I'd say that in my own personal experience, with a couple of exceptions, most guidance has come to me via the wisdom and insight of other Christians.
Okay.
And so becoming a bishop has been the outcome of a number of people saying to me, one day you'll be a bishop, Peter.
Okay, cool. Now, most people would think becoming a bishop is a really big deal, becoming a Christian is a big deal. Do you harbour doubts about the fact that it's true and reliable?
I'm a kind of person who doesn't really harbour doubts about such things. So I've been blessed in my life to basically have no doubts that God exists, that Jesus is the Son of God, as I said before. But I do acknowledge that a lot of people have doubts and difficulties in believing in God.
So if someone did have doubts, what would you say to them that might be helpful?
I think it's really important when we've got our doubts to keep going to the source of our knowledge of God. And that's primarily the Bible. So it's really important, I think, to keep opening the Bible up, reading it, especially reading the story of Jesus in the Gospels and the New Testament. But it would be really important to somehow find a really trusted Christian friend that you could be honest with, express those doubts, and have a really decent conversation about.
Okay, I read just this morning actually that 45% of people in the UK, this is a very recent survey, still believe in the physical resurrection of Jesus. Does that surprise you?
That's a really impressive figure. I haven't come across it myself, so I'm really impressed with the people of the UK that there is such a high percentage.
Well, let's say in New Zealand, at least a good portion of the population believe in the resurrection of Jesus. But many of them are not engaged in church. What would you say to those who believe that Jesus rose again from the dead but aren't currently part of church fellowship?
I think I'd say this. If you believe in the resurrection of Jesus from the dead, you're believing in one of the most amazing facts of human existence, that God took this particular person, raised him from the dead, actually did a bit more than that, has exalted him to be at the right hand of God. That's so exciting, so amazing, that for me personally, I want to worship the God who raised Jesus from the dead. I want to worship Jesus himself, and I'm not very good at worshipping Jesus on my own. So I like to go to church to be in the company of other followers of Jesus as we worship him together. So I'd really encourage people to be in church, because that's just so important for expressing our amazement and wonder at the raising of Jesus.
Cool. Thank you so much for those answers. I've got lots more questions, but we'll come to them later. In the meantime, we'll sign off and prepare ourselves for the rest of the day. Thank you.